Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube. Today we're doing I put up a poll of questions on my YouTube or on my social medias, and we're going to go through those. But first off, I want to start off by saying this is my first YouTube video since I posted since I was in the Pacific Ocean. And I just wanted to say thank you, everyone, for being here and all the new subscribers and stuff. That's really cool. And as far as my plan with posting, the plan is to post on YouTube once a week, and then like 3 to 5 days, those shorts or on my social media every week. And you know, we're just basically gonna try and figure out a routine and rhythm. So we'll figure something out, but I'll keep posting. And I can't say it'll be good. Can't promise it'll be good. Might not be good. It'll probably not be good. You can expect it to not be good. But I think it'll be good. We'll see. I don't know. It'll get better. Just like everything. Just keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it. And as far as so I filmed the entire passage from Oregon to Hawaii for YouTube, so all horizontal. And I've just shipped that out to my brother's going to edit that one because he's just really good. He's a filmmaker, so he's going to edit it. It's going to look really cool for YouTube. And I just shipped that out. I think he just received it today. So we'll be putting that out. I think it'll be the next one after this. Maybe the next one or the one after, but that will be, I'm excited to see that. That'll be really cool. So, and I'll let you guys know when that comes out. But yeah, let's get into the questions. That sums that up. So yeah, these are all the questions. I don't know if they're in order. They might be in order. I'm not sure, but these are the questions that all of you have asked, and we're going to go through them. And I think there's 50 questions. So let's see here. The most popular is, what's the next destination? So the next destination, I'm not exactly sure. I think I'm going to French Polynesia. As far as where I'm going in French Polynesia, I'm not entirely sure. A lot of people are recommending Tahiti. So I'm kind of just going off of like recommendations of where exactly to go. I think Tahiti would be really cool from what it sounds like. So yeah, that's probably next. What's the most frightening moment crossing the Pacific? The most frightening moment was definitely when I had the rudder failure, because that was on day 5, and it was day 5 or 6, and that was by far the most frightening moment, because, you know, just put in perspective how vulnerable you are. It was at the worst possible time it could be. It was at the height of, like, the weather system I was in, so I was getting, like, gusts of, like, 38 knots, and I couldn't tell you how big the swells were, but they seemed very big to me, and it just made me, like, I was terrified. Like, I literally couldn't, like, I got so sick because the boat was rocking so much from either side, because the rudder locked hard to starboard, or, you know, hard to starboard, hard to right, and it turned the boat sideways to the waves. And so for the entire duration, I was sideways to the waves, which is bad because it makes the boat roll so much. And I was right in the middle of fixing my my sails, because 2 of the battens came out that kind of make the sails stiff, and then also a slug or a car that goes up the track came out as well. So I was in the middle of fixing that when the rudder failed, and it was terrifying. Like, I got super sick, and I think the sickness came from, like, literally being so sick with, like, fear, and then also really seasick at the same time. Like, I got so sick because I had to jump down in this locker in there while the boat is going from here to here in, like, 4-second intervals, and the water was literally coming up to these lifelines. So the boat would rock so much that I would be looking straight down at the water, and the water was coming through these lifelines, and then it would go to the other side, and it was terrifying. And so yeah, that was the most frightening moment when crossing, for sure. And so the other question, how do you sleep while sailing? I don't know, you kind of just, I fortunately sleep very well in general. Like, I just fall asleep quick and I stay asleep, which is like a catch-22, because I was really worried that I would sleep through something bad happening and not notice it, but I did. I learned that that's not really an issue for me, because when something would happen or the boat would shift, where I needed to get up, I would, like, naturally wake up to the feeling, you know, just the motion. Something would feel off in my sleep, and I woke up. I was able to wake up when things happened. But how do I sleep when I'm sailing? Just like what I tried to do is I slept if I felt tired at any point, if I felt like I could sleep, I would sleep. And I would sleep basically. I would try and sleep at night, but if I felt tired in the day, I would sleep, and then at night I would I'd sleep like basically at 2-hour intervals. And so I'd sleep for 2 hours, and then I'd wake up and kind of check everything, make sure everything's good, and then go back to bed. Are you scared to sleep while sailing alone? No. I don't know. You have like the fears, like, I'd sleep and like I would think about going to bed. Like when I'd go to bed, it would be night, and especially on like a windy night, I would sit there and be like, oh man, it's really going to suck if something breaks, because the boat's making these crazy violent noises, and it would really suck to have to like deal with like the rudder, for example, and it's pitch black. I would just add another element or level of suck to it. So am I scared? No, I wasn't really scared, but there was, I guess, anxiety with it. The best pickup line someone sent you while sailing. What was the best pickup line? I don't think I got any pickup lines that I recall. A pickup line. I don't know. I didn't get any pickup lines. So sorry for that question. I wasn't really in my phone a whole lot. But will you marry me? There's another question. It's question number 6. Says, will you marry me? And the answer to that is no, probably not. I don't know. Thanks for asking that question and making this uncomfortable. I appreciate that. Favorite snack consumed on the trip. So my favorite snack, I got a bunch of weird snacks, like for like experimental snacks, because for like entertainment, and I should have gotten more, but I got like these tinned clams that were like in oil and a little spicy. But those are my favorite. I only got like 2 or 3 of those, and I remember eating those, and those are so good. So yeah, that was my favorite snack. Number 8, what did my mom think of me sailing to Hawaii? She was really good. Like, she was very supportive, and she didn't hide she hid her worry really well. Like I didn't feel her worry at all. Like she hid it very well, and I think she did that for me. We haven't actually talked about it yet, but which helped me a lot, because if my mom was like outwardly being very worried about the whole thing, it would have gotten in my head a bit. And then when I got here, she sent me a huge thing of how she was so happy I made it and stuff. So yeah, overall, I think she's very proud, which is a cool feeling to have your parents or your mom proud. What kind of repairs will I do? I got to replace the standing rigging. I've got to just do a bunch of overall maintenance stuff, and I've got to my reefing lines, my reefing system, what allows me to reduce this amount of sail that I have up if it gets too windy. I think I have to just redo that whole reefing system, because right now the entire reefing system is inside of the boom, and I had one line chafe through, and if that had chafed through and I lost that line, I wouldn't have been able to replace it because of the way it's set. In order to replace it, if I lose the line, in order to replace it, I have to take the boom off of the boat, and I have to remove the caps off the ends of the boom, which are riveted in. And even after you've done that, it's still this like game where you're like putting down a tweezer thing on a stick and like trying to feed it through. It's chaos. So I want to make all the reefing system external. I want everything to be external on the outside, and I think that will be much better. So yeah. Number 10, how do you plan to stay in Hawaii, and will Phoenix be traveling with you? How do I plan to stay? Well, I'm going to live on the boat. The boat's my home, and yeah, Phoenix is also, this is her home as well. So I'm not going to go anywhere without her. That's why I brought her with me to Hawaii across an ocean. It's because I love her, and she's through and through a boat cat now too, and I think she loves the life. She was just, you guys didn't see her, but she was just out here walking around and enjoying life, and yeah, so I think, what was the question? What kind of, or how long do you plan on staying in Hawaii? So as far as how long I plan on staying here, I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm still trying to figure it out. It is really complicated to figure out I've just like dabbled figuring it out, but it sounds like the end of March will be the appropriate time to cross to French Polynesia, because it's going to be cyclone season here is different than cyclone season in French Polynesia. So I'm still trying to figure it out and talking to people and kind of just gathering knowledge of when I should actually leave. And I'm in no rush to sail around the world. I just spent the last year absolutely grinding in miserable conditions, snowing, and like it's all documented on my YouTube and social media. Basically the year of just working in the miserable cold and working on this boat. So now I'm here in paradise. I'm going to enjoy it a bit. It's awesome, and I want to explore all the islands, and sail around here and just live here for a bit. So it might be as long as 10 months as far as how long I stay here. What is the number one place I'd like to sail to? I think ultimately the number one place I'd like to sail, and I know it's dangerous, and people die doing it, but the number one place I would like to sail in the world, even though I absolutely hate river sailing. I hate it more than anything in the world, because that's all I've done, and river sailing sucks. It's not really sailing. You can't really do much sailing in the river, but I would really like to sail up the Amazon River. That would be unreal and probably miserable, but that would be, I think, the coolest experience in the world is sailing up the Amazon River. So what hobbies do you do to keep yourself entertained while sailing? What hobbies did I didn't have any hobbies really. Like I when I wasn't managing the boat or like actively sailing or navigating or whatever, I was pretty much just like making content for social media and editing videos. So I would say like that, and I enjoy doing that. So that was probably like what kept my mind busy in the dull moments. Editing videos. So yeah. How much experience did you have on using a sailboat before sailing to Hawaii? So I bought the boat with no experience basically like a year ago. I guess now it's probably a little bit over a year ago. But I spent the first 6 months doing some work to the boat and also learning how to sail. I couldn't afford the sailing classes, so I watched like YouTube videos and took it out. And one of my boat neighbors raced every Sunday. So it was like every Sunday for about 3 months I crewed on his boat to race with them. And, I'd be in charge of one area. And I learned to sail a bit through that as well. And then just taking the boat out. And I'm still a bad sailor. Like I would still consider myself very, very like green and inexperienced and not very good at sailing. So I did that for the first 6 months. And then the next 6 months, I didn't sail at all. I sailed down to the Oregon coast from Portland, down the Columbia River, got there, didn't sail at all, and for the following 6 months, I focused solely on the refit of this boat, and I worked on this boat every single day, 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so really, by the time I left to sail outside of a river for the first time, to cross an ocean, I had about like 6 months of sailing experience. Which I'm not sitting here like I recommend that. Like if you can afford classes, take the classes and stuff, and like be safe and stuff with it if you want to do this stuff. What was the final straw when you said, it, I'm following my dream? Sorry for swearing. Bleep it out, maybe. Who knows? But what was the final straw? So there's that video that went viral where I'm in the Discount Tire shirt where I was like, well, let's see, what was the final straw? Yeah, I mean, it was really that. Like, I made a video of myself in a Discount Tire when I was in my work uniform, and I was saying I'm going to sail around the world, and I accidentally posted it. And because I didn't mean to post. I meant to put it in as like a draft on TikTok. I never used TikTok before. I didn't know how it worked, so I meant to put it in as like a draft, and I accidentally posted it. And it turns out TikTok like syncs with everybody in your contacts, so it went to like literally everyone in my contacts, all my bosses. So I showed up to work the next day. Everyone had seen it, and I called my boss, and I asked him. I was like, "So am I fired?" And he was like, "Well, we're gonna have a meeting about it, and you just go back to work. By the end of the day, we'll let you know what we decide to do." And at that moment, I was like, "I'll make it easy for you." I just hung up the phone and walked out after 11 years. And it was after that moment was because before that moment, everything was just talk. I was just talking, and I hadn't done anything yet. But after that moment, it was like it is game on. Like I quit with no real plan, no no real plan. I was in debt, like $10,000 or something in debt, and rent was due, and so that's like a week later I liquidated my 401k, and then 2 weeks after that I bought a sailboat and sold my cars and moved on to a sailboat. Did I see any alien activity? I did not, and I was certainly looking for it. Like if anyone on Earth wants to see aliens, it is me. So I was definitely looking for it. I didn't see anything weird or any alien stuff. What has surprised you the most about being in Hawaii? Just the love that I got from everybody and the warm welcoming from everybody. That surprised me the most. That was super cool. I didn't expect it, and it was a surreal feeling. Like I expected to show up here and no one's gonna, no one would like know about me, and you know what I mean. And I was just gonna like weasel my way into a marina somehow, and try and figure it out. But it was the opposite of what I expected, so that was really cool. Where do I empty the litter box? So when I was sailing, legally I could throw anything overboard. I can throw anything overboard except for plastic. When you're out in the ocean, I think it's like 3 miles offshore. I could be wrong, but I think it's 3 miles offshore. You could throw anything overboard, and but I didn't do that because I'm not like superstitious. But I didn't want to piss off the ocean gods, and I didn't want to take any risks. So I all my trash, including the cat litter. The cat litter I'd put in in a trash can that I have here. And when that got full, I'd fill it. I'd take it out and I would put it in here. And I would stow it in here. And so I threw it all away once I got to Hawaii in the trash. When's the trip back to Oregon? I am never going back to Oregon again in my entire life. That's we're just not doing that. I don't have any desire to go back to Oregon. It's a beautiful place in the summertime, but yep, we're gonna move on, going around the world, and I'll probably end up living somewhere warm permanently. I never want to go to a cold place again. I'm not a fan of the cold. Did I expect to go viral? Was that part of the plan? No, I didn't expect to go viral. The plan has always been to have social media be able to help fund my expedition around the world. That's always been the plan, but I did not expect to go like as viral as I did at all. I was hoping I was going to have maybe like 100,000 followers by the time I got to Hawaii. Like that would have been amazing. But it ended up going viral, got like 2 million followers. So it's like I'm living in just a dream. So thank you guys for that. It was super cool. But no, the plan wasn't. I didn't expect to go viral. But do you miss the human interaction while at sea? Not really. I do really well on my own. Like I really kind of enjoy being by myself and just being alone. So I didn't but it's hard for me to say because I had Starlink the whole time, so I was able to communicate with the outside world. So I had as much human interaction as I would have liked because I could just call a friend or something whenever. So it's hard for me to really comment on that. I'm sure it would feel different if I didn't have Starlink. So, do you have a plan for when a pirate attack occurs? No, I'm the pirate. My plan is to just be more crazy than the pirates. If I ever am in a part of the world where or in a situation where I get boarded by pirates, I'm just gonna go completely insane, and that's my plan. It's just because I can go, I have a crazy side, and I can pull it out when I want to. And if I saw someone trying to board my boat, I would absolutely go insane, and I would be naked with a machete in my hand and just screaming at the pirates, and I'd probably have a flare gun, and I'd just start shooting flare guns at them, screaming crazy, just going nuts, and that's my plan. So, or I think honestly, probably the way to go when dealing with pirates is just be like just offer up gifts, be very friendly. Honestly, I think this is the way to, I don't know, but I feel like to offer them gifts, be very friendly, like give them really cool things. I think, I don't know. Everyone's gonna have a weird take on this and stuff, and everyone's gonna say bring a gun. It's like some countries you go to, if you have a gun, you get like the death penalty, so it's not like worth bringing a gun. So I don't know. You'd have to feel it out in the moment. Yeah, I'm not worried about it though. I'm just not worried about it. Were the stars insane? Not as crazy as you think. Most of the time it was overcast, and then when it wasn't overcast, it was like a full moon. There was one night, the last night was when I saw the stars the best, and I sat out here and looked at the stars. The problem is the boat rocks so much that you can't like really, it's just the boat rocks so much, so it's hard to like kind of look at the stars and like sit there and just look at the stars. But do you ever plan to have a family and children, or are you going to sail forever alone? I don't know. I don't really think about it. I don't make much plans. I'm prepared to sail forever alone. I'm not against that idea. I'm also not against the idea of having like a girlfriend or something, but I'm not looking for it, and I think ultimately, before I do anything like get a girlfriend and stuff, I think the goal is going to be to sail around the world. But I'm not going to say anything in stone just because, like, who knows? I don't know, I like being alone, and I like the idea of sailing around the world alone. But, you never know. So, what is at the top of your list for want to haves in regards to your sailboat? I would really like all new electronics, like navionics and GPS and all that stuff. That would be really just convenient. And then I don't know. At the same time, I don't need much. Like I did it with what I have, and I can do it again with what I have. So I think it's important to recognize that and not get lost in the upgrades and things like that. So there's nothing really in particular other than I just got a whisker pole, so I absolutely needed that, and that holds the jib sail out. Does Phoenix ever try to jump off the boat? Not when I'm sailing. She jumps off. She goes onto the dock sometimes in the evening, but I'm always with her. If I let her out here, I stay with her and I hang out with her, and I'll walk her on the docks a bit too sometimes, just to let her roam around. It's a bit of an issue though, because she started to jump on other boats, which is a bit of a problem. And because she gets on the other boat, so I don't want to get on someone else's boat to try and get her. So I have to sit there and coax her back. So that's a bit of an issue. But do you stay in touch with the previous owner of your boat? What is the boat's history? No, I don't stay in touch. The boat was pretty much. I never met the previous owners, but the boat was pretty much. The person who sold me the boat, though, I do talk to him sometimes. He follows me on social media. But the boat was pretty much never sailed and spent most of its life in fresh water. So that's why it's in such good condition. And the boat was made in Florida by Compaq. It's a 1991 Compaq 33. And made in Florida. And that company actually went out of business last month. So it's a bit of a doozy. They primarily make dinghy sailors or trailer sailors, so small sailboats. This was the biggest boat they made, and they only made 10. So this is hull number 4 of 10. So it's basically I'm sailing around the world in a giant dinghy sailor, which is odd. How would I restock my boat differently for the next adventure? excuse me, I would just bring way more food. Like I thought I brought enough food. Like I would bring so much food for the next one. Like I would bring a ridiculous amount of food is going to be the plan there. I don't want to get low on food ever again like I was. It wasn't that I was low on food. I had plenty of food. It was just hard food. It was food that I had to cook. And sometimes it gets so rough where it's really hard to cook. But when I ran out of like easy foods to eat, it got really rough, and all I had was stuff that I had to cook. So like I ended up basically like having soup cans and just like drinking the soup cans cold, and it was terrible and it sucked. But yeah. If Oliver was to grade himself on the job he did sailing to Hawaii, what would he give himself? On a 1 to 10, I'd probably give myself like a 3 or a 4. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, 3 or 4, I think. I think I did well. I handled the situations that came up, but like I didn't sail very well. Like the biggest thing is I didn't have a whisker. Well, maybe I'm being hard on myself. I'd give myself a 6, solid 6. Final answer. Do you like flip-flops, or are you more of a slides guy? I don't like flip-flops. Slides guy. I don't like any thong flip-flops. Thanks for asking that question. Do I miss my old life? Not even in the slightest. Sometimes I'll catch myself thinking about it, and and I like to think about it often because it's it makes me appreciate more of where I am and what I have and what I've done now. Because some days I'm not like happy and giddy all the time. Some days I have bad days like anybody else and stuff. And but then I have to remind myself, like look at where I am. I'm in Hawaii, on my boat that I just sailed here on. And if I was still at my old job, what I would be doing right now is 70 hours a week, I'd be at work every day and just go through that cycle of at work and just get yelled at by bosses and customers and hating life. So I don't miss my old life at all. Yeah. Was there any point where you felt like calling for a helicopter to just yank you the hell out? No, I enjoyed my time out there the whole time. Yeah. Why have you not been keeping up on your YouTube content? That's what we're doing now, all right? Chill out, okay? That's what we're doing now. It's a lot of work. Like, it's like I spent a year posting YouTube once a week and social media every single day and working on the boat, like grinding every single day, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, grinding to do all of this, and so I took some time off when I got here, enjoyed life a bit, and now I'm reeling it in, and I'm gonna start posting on YouTube again. So, what's my favorite food? I really like Indian food. That's probably my favorite. Did Phoenix get seasick? She's been seasick once. When I first bought the boat, and since then she has. I've been seasick far more than she has. Number 36, how long were you seasick for and how did you manage it? I was seasick for the first 3 days, I think, and then it went away, and then I got seasick again for about 5 days that were spread out. I didn't get seasick, I didn't other than when the rudder failed, I got really seasick, but aside from that, I was always I just felt really unwell. Kind of, but I never threw up and stuff, and it was I was always on the edge of being really seasick. But I found out that it was I think it was self-inflicted for some of it, because there was those 5 days after when I got seasick later than the initial seasickness. I think it was because I was waking up. My morning was very bad. I was waking up and making a pot of coffee, drinking the coffee, so putting caffeine in without any food, and then I was going to eat, and then I would eat a piece of chocolate or something, and that was my breakfast. And I think that is what triggered it, and I figured that out. And then I was able to, I changed my morning routine, stopped drinking coffee, and just put a good amount of food in my body in the mornings, and then that like solved the issue. Number 37, did you wear the same underwear every day, week, or did you have a way to do laundry? I brought like basically like 30 pairs of underwear, but you know, I'm not ashamed to admit that. Well, I am ashamed to admit this, but I'll admit it because honesty is important, and I would stretch out underwear for about 4 days. You know, I would stretch it out I would probably change my underwear every 4 days, and I know that's gross, and it felt gross, and but that's the truth. And the reason why I did it was really just out of laziness, I think. You know, if you're lazy, like I am, in day-to-day life, your laziness out on the ocean is tenfold. You're much more lazy when you're crossing an ocean, just because all these little tasks are so much harder because the boat is rocking and moving so much, so everything takes so much longer to do. But yeah. Number 38, hi, as a messed up neck girl myself, I'm wondering how you deal with the chronic neck pain. I just try to ignore it as best I can. I don't let it enter my mind space, and I just try and just really ignore it as much as I can. And the more you think about it, the more the pain is. So like I don't even go to the doctors anymore. I've decided to just, I'm going to ride life as hard as I can for as long as I can. And ever since I've started this isn't good advice. It's just what I'm doing. But ever since I started doing that, my pain levels have gone down. So I just ignore it. And it fluctuates. So sometimes I have much more pain. Some days I have more pain than others and stuff. But even when it comes in, I try not to let it infiltrate my mind. Because if you start to get obsessive over it, the pain will only get worse. So the solution I've found is just ignoring it. And I don't take any medications or any ibuprofens for it just because I don't want to have something that I'm dependent on or relying on. So I just deal with it. Number 39, where do you poop on the boat? I've got a bathroom, stand-up shower and a bathroom and a toilet that I poop in. I poop in there. And yeah. Number 40, are you going to hike any mountains in Hawaii? Yeah, for sure. I'll be hiking. I think they said Diamond Head's a good hike, and there's some really other good hikes that people have been recommending. So, yeah, I'll be hiking at some point. Number 41, if you could bring one famous person on your vessel, who would you bring and why? Who would it be and why? One famous person. Probably like Bill Burr, because I think he'd be afraid of the ocean, and I think it would be really funny. Because, you know, it'd just be funny. But, yeah. And Bill Burr is cool. He's like my favorite comedian. So, Bill Burr, if you see this, hello. Number 42, did you see any other boats on your passage? I think, after the first day, I saw 3 or 4 boats. And 3 of them, there was the 3 I saw within 3 days. So, I saw one a day for 3 days, which is crazy. And then around that, I didn't see any other boats, if that makes sense. Number 43, what have you learned about yourself since you started sailing from Oregon to Hawaii? I learned a lot about myself on the journey to cross the ocean. I don't know that I learned a whole lot about myself during the crossing. It was the journey, the year of learning how to sail, working on the boat, learning how to do social media, doing all of that constantly. Like I learned that it's possible, and that I learned. What I learned about myself is that I do have the ability in me to do it. To do basically, it showed me that I can do anything, and because in my eyes, what I've done to others, to some people, it's not a big achievement. Plenty of people have done what I've done, but in my eyes, I did the impossible. So, 44, are you more comfortable expressing yourself on social media than in person? I don't know. I think I feel, yes, I think so. I'm more comfortable expressing myself on social media than in person. Just because, like, it's been harder now that I've sailed here, and now that everybody I see, like, watches my stuff, it's been harder to, like, be myself, which I'm going to continue to, obviously, like, work through that. Like, I've felt this before when I first got my first, like, 50,000 followers. Like, I went through this same thing where it was, like, harder to be myself, knowing that there's people that I know that are watching it, basically. And it's the same thing that's happened again. It's just at a much bigger level. But I know if I keep trying, keep doing it, I will get more comfortable, and I'll continue to be able to be as myself as I can. How big is your boat? What make and model? She's 33 feet, and it's a 1991 compact 33. Number 46, how old is Phoenix, and how did you get her? She is 7 years old, and she found me at a dumpster at work. So went to go take the trash out, and there was somebody dumped a litter of kitties in the dumpster at work. So that's how I got her. I saw her, and I fell in love immediately. Will Oregon always be home? No. The boat, wherever the boat is, will always be home. So, yeah, the boat's by home. And I don't really miss Oregon. I'll be honest, just what it is. How do you plan to entertain your 2 million fans while you're not sailing? I don't know. It's a good question. I'll let you know when I find out. I'm just gonna keep posting, so it's probably gonna be like boat project stuff, sailing around the Hawaiian Islands, exploring the Hawaiian Islands on foot, and just kind of like vlogging maybe. It's a new thing for me. Like it's going to be different than the content that I've really always been posting. So all I know is I'm just going to keep doing it, and I'm just going to keep doing it. There's going to be bad posts. There's going to be good posts. There's going to be boring posts. There's going to be entertaining posts. I'm just going to keep doing it. Did you see any pelagic fish? And then in parentheses it says open ocean fish during your crossing. I saw flying fish that flew onto the boat, and then I saw one swordfish that was surfing a wave and like hopped out of a wave. Maybe it wasn't I think it might have been a tuna, but yeah, it was the only fish I saw. Number 50, the last one. What kind of legacy, if any, would you want to leave, or what would fulfill you the most? I don't think about legacy. I don't give a shit about legacy, to be honest with you. I don't care about that. Or what would fulfill you? I just want to. I really like the idea of inspiring people to chase their dreams and do what they love, and I just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think much about like legacy and all that stuff. I don't think about it at all. I don't know. I think as far as like for me, it's important to be a good person. I always want to be a good person, and I would like to be known as a good person, I guess, from people, and that's all. Just be a good person and enjoy life. That's all. That's what I want my legacy to be. And that is it. That was a lot of questions. I'm hot and sweaty, and that was it was a lot of questions. I don't know how entertaining that was, but hopefully it was entertaining. Once we've posted this, the goal is gonna be to post every Wednesday. So yeah, we'll be posting every Wednesday. Not sure what that's gonna look like, what we're gonna be posting, but we're gonna be posting every Wednesday. And so there's that information for you as well. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for. I don't know. I appreciate you all a lot, and you're the reason why you're the reason why my dream has literally come full circle. So I can't say thank you enough for that. So yeah, thank you everybody for everything. So thank you. Sailing Phoenix is out.